Well, when it rains, it pours, I think is what they say. We thought we were going to take a quick trip up to Elkhart to get a repair done on our couch, and everything seemed to go the wrong direction. So stick around. This is going to be a quick video. We'll share everything with you. Good morning. Well, like I mentioned, this is going to be a shorter video. So in the last video we mentioned that we've got some new theater seatings furniture when we were up in Elkhart, and unfortunately it never quite felt as comfortable as I expected. And then I noticed it was kind of making some popping noises and didn't really feel real good. And you see here on this arm, it's actually kind of wobbly and loose. Maybe you can't see it that well, but anyway, it creaks and moans when you move in and out. So
I called them, and I wasn't sure about their return policy of furniture, but I called them and basically told them that we weren't really satisfied with it, and they were like, well, when can you come in, because we want to make this right. And so we made an appointment, and hopefully we're going to get that swapped out to a different model. So
yeah. We were only 300 or so miles away, and we figured it was easier just to run back up and get it taken care of.
Yeah, rather than deal with shipping and taking it out. Yeah, it's just way better.
But they were really, really good at getting, wanting to take care of the problem. So we'll see how that goes today. But then the day before we decided to leave, as I was walking by, I noticed next to our slide was a little metal piece, and I recognized it was a spring that holds our true topper closed when they're in. So I quickly called True Topper, and Heidi answered right away and told me that there's actually a couple new revisions in those since ours were installed, and that she would send me out some immediately to next day air them to us so we could get them fixed.
Yeah, and change out all of them.
And,
just
yeah,
so
enough to change them all out.
We don't have that problem again.
Exactly. So those are on the way. We actually told her that she didn't need to next day air them because we weren't going to be there for a few days, so we got back, but those will be on the way, so we'll show you in the next video what that consisted of and how to replace those.
Yep.
And then, of course, it was raining. It's come in and got snowy, and it was 25 degrees before we left. So it's it's like one of those things. When it rains, it pours. Everything hits at once. So we got on the road later in the afternoon, spent the night at a Cabela's. Mm-hmm. And then the next day when we stopped for fuel, I did my normal walk around, and this is what I saw. We are at a TA truck stop, and I always like to do a walk around, and this is the reason why. Look at our blue ox here. Look at that. I don't think that crack is going to be very good for our system. That whole thing's loose. So we're going to disconnect the pickup and ride separately until we can figure out how to get a hold of Blue Ox and get this repaired. I always try to do a walk around and check everything out, and then and
sometimes you look at sometimes he looks at just some random thing, not random things, but you get to see where you get used to what you see, but sometimes he looks at details.
Yeah, I always check all the pins and all the connectors and make sure everything's good. That's one of the things I do every time I walk around the rig, almost every time we stop. So anyway, Ashley got on the phone and got a hold of Blue Ox, which is what manufacturer of our tow bar is. And
well, and they answered right away and said send us a description of what you have. And I said, well, I have some pictures. And she goes, oh, okay, let me send you a blank email since you're driving, and then you can email me the pictures. So when we stopped, I went ahead and emailed her the pictures. And then a couple hours later, or whatever, I saw that I had a voicemail from her, and basically she gave us a part number and said, you can order this. And so Scott got on the phone. Yeah, sorry, I gotta move my arm here. So I thought, well, wait a minute. There's supposed to be a 3-year warranty on this thing. Let me see what's going on, and what else we can do to get this part quicker. So I called and
took me a few minutes to get a hold of her, but when I got a hold of her, I started asking her, about the warranty, and she told me that the warranty is only for manufacturer defects. So any wear item, and so guess that hinge point is a wear item, isn't covered under any warranty. Even though we've only had it just over a year, it's not covered any warranty, and that it was my fault for not doing proper maintenance. I was like, whoa, what do you mean proper maintenance? So supposedly every 1 to 2 years, we're supposed to send it back to Blue Ox and pay $150.
Or 10,000 miles.
Oh yeah, I found that out later when I looked in the directions. We're supposed to send it back to Blue Ox, pay $150, and wait a month for them to send it back to us.
Shipping.
Yeah, plus shipping, for us to get it maintenanced every 10,000 miles. After I looked in the directions in the small print, you can see that it says every 2 years or 10,000 miles, they suggest that you have it maintenanced by them. So being a full-timer, that makes it a little bit hard, unless we happen to be going through Nebraska where their place is. Well, then we could stop in there and they would do it while we were there
for $150
plus dollars. Unless you happen to catch them at some show, sometimes they'll have a discount at a show and do it for less. So anyway,
you gotta remember, we had just experienced 2 really good customer service experiences,
yes.
So we kind of had high hopes with Blue Ox, and then it was like, meh.
Right. And with our old tow bar, the NSA, when we had one little issue with it, and I called them up, man, they were right on top of it, wanting to take care of it. One time when it started getting a little bit loose, he said, ship it in here, we'll fix it for free, and we'll ship it back to you. All I had to pay was the shipping to get it to him, and it was gone for less than a week. So, that was unfortunately, the NSA tow bar isn't rated as high as the Blue Ox. We switched to the Blue Ox.
When we switched from towing the Bronco to towing the pickup.
Yeah. So it was a little bit disheartening that Blue Ox wasn't as,
as helpful.
As helpful as we hoped. So that's something that we're going to address while we're here in Elkhart, see if we can figure out a different tow bar that's rated enough to tow our rig, or see if we can get the parts or get this one repaired somehow. So anyway, that's why this is going to be a little bit shorter video, because we had a lot of stuff going on all of a sudden.
Yep. And not to mention, when I got in the pickup, after discovering the failure of the tow bar, I started going, and all of a sudden I had all these bells and whistles of alarms.
Warning lights.
Well, turned out
I think what happened was that because I was in a rush disconnecting, I didn't disconnect the power wire, electrical wire first, so it kind of threw a fault into the system because of the extra brake wires going to it. Not a big deal.
But it was just an extra little...
Yeah, but it's not acting up or doing anything wrong now, so we'll check the faults on that when we get back to settled in.
I'm sure that was
it's nothing. Yes,
but still, it was just something to make you go, darn it!
Yeah.
Come on.
So anyway, stay tuned to next week. We'll fill you in on all the happenings while we're here and let you know how everybody took care of us, and
see you on the road. Hopefully.
Hopefully we'll see you on the road. Thanks for watching.
Bye.